Hello, one and all. Come on in and partake in episode 101 of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. I don't know what that intro was, but just bear with me. This is SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to pick two random SoulsBorne bosses, and then they will engage in a leaf blowing contest. And then whoever wins the leaf blowing contest will be the winner. This is assuming it doesn't snow between now and then, because this is upstate New York and you never know. But I'm hoping that this contest comes to be, because that means there's no more snow, and I think we've had enough of that. It's been a brutal winter up here in upstate New York. It just has absolutely sucked. Not just talking about the snow and it just being cold, but it's just been so brutally cold. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I want to thank you all for your love and support in episode 100 of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death, the SoulsBorne Battle Royal. It went very well. Got a pretty good reception from that. So thank you guys for that. It was a fun episode to do, and I look forward to 100 more. But I think I have more plans for Battle Royals in the coming future. So stay tuned for that. Nothing's official yet, but this is 101. This is a regular SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. So the battlefield has been cleared. It can house any and all SoulsBorne bosses, and it has housed all of them at least twice in SoulsBorne Battle Royals. Used to be once. Now it's twice, because there's been 2 Battle Royals. So there are pretty close to 100 bosses in this little generator that I've created, and some special spots that can create some interesting scenarios. So I am going to close my app. We are going to stop this wheel, and we are going to see who participant number 1 is going to be in episode 101 of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. The Cleric Beast from Bloodborne. Isn't he one of the first bosses? He has to be. He's definitely one of the first bosses, and definitely a boss to definitely let you know what you're in for in Bloodborne. A perfect introductory boss, because Cleric Beast is tough, and will definitely let you know what's going on, and what you're going to be facing in this hunter's world of Bloodborne. I like the Cleric Beast. Cleric Beast is tough. He's a cool looking boss. And the Cleric Beast is just fun, I think. I think the knock on some Bloodborne bosses is that a lot of them are too similar. But, I still enjoy the Cleric Beast. I think the Cleric Beast kind of sets the tone for what Bloodborne is going to be. So I think he's a very important boss. And yeah, I think the Cleric Beast is a good beast to land on here in SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to take this wheel for another spin. So apparently I decided to stop recording instead of spinning the wheel. We're going to take this wheel for another spin. I am very, very tired, ladies and gentlemen. Very tired. I did say that my work schedule is going to be very, very busy. I've been saying that a lot in the past few months, and it has, and it's been brutal, but I'm determined to keep up on this, and I am going to. I love it too much. I'm not going to give it up. So, we are going to find an opponent for the Cleric Beast in this leaf blowing contest that we have going on. This little bit of community service that I generally tend to do from time to time. All right, in one corner, we have the Cleric Beast, and in the other corner, we have the Demon of Hatred from Sekiro. Wow. This battle is almost like looking in a mirror. This is very, very interesting, I think. 2 very, very similar bosses, I think. At least in terms of design a little bit. Wow. Wow, this one's kind of caught me off guard a little bit. That is very, very interesting and tough to decide. But this isn't the section of the video where I decide, because the legal department gets very upset. So I'm going to close my mouth, and we're going to go to the contractually obligated bio. So let's have a look at the Cleric Beast. Not much in the way of lore surrounding the Cleric Beast. However, it is believed that the Cleric Beast was a member of Yharnam's clergy that was transformed by the Old Blood, hence the name. When you defeat the Cleric Beast in battle, you get the Sword Hunter badge, which reads as follows. One of the badges crafted by the Healing Church. The silver sword is a symbol of a church hunter. Ludwig was the first of many Healing Church hunters to come, many of whom were clerics. As it was, clerics transformed into the most hideous beasts. So it's easy to believe that the Cleric Beast was once a member of the clergy and was transformed by the Old Blood, as I said earlier. This suggests that the beast was employed under Ludwig, and that it succumbed to the scourge of becoming a beast, and that's the entire lore surrounding the Cleric Beast. The Cleric Beast is the first optional boss in Bloodborne, and will generally be the first boss you come across. It is much more difficult to find. Father Gascoigne is like the first main boss. I think the Cleric Beast is a perfect boss, perfect first boss in Bloodborne. The Cleric Beast is very, very challenging, but not too challenging. Not so challenging that it will discourage you from playing the game, and not so discouraging or not so difficult that you can't beat him. It will take several tries, most likely, but the Cleric Beast is a fun boss to fight, and you know, if you haven't played any of the games before, we'll probably do some things that will surprise you. But the Cleric Beast is a perfect introduction. You know, if you never played any FromSoft game before, and Bloodborne is the first game you're playing, the Cleric Beast is a perfect introduction into the world of FromSoft and what you can be expecting from here on out. Basically to get your ass kicked, and that you know, it's a perfect measurement of whether you're going to like this universe or not. You know, whether you're going to come back to it, you know, and go back to it over and over and over again as you fight these bosses, or, you know, or whether it's just not your thing. But I guess you could look at the Cleric Beast as kind of the gatekeeper into the world of FromSoft in that regard. But I do like the Cleric Beast a lot. I think it's a very cool boss design, and yeah. I think the Cleric Beast is always an interesting boss to pop up in SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. Now, I really hadn't read too much into Sekiro lore in the past. I just hadn't, for whatever reason. But I was stunned to find that the Demon of Hatred is actually the Sculptor, your friend that helps you out during the course of the game, and gives you the shinobi prosthetic and does the upgrades and all that stuff. He was once a powerful shinobi that trained amongst the monkeys in Sunken Valley, and they gave him the nickname Orangutan. Now, if anyone else had given me that nickname, I would be asking for a redo, but since it was monkeys, I guess, you know, makes sense. But when he was still the shinobi, he found Emma starving on the battlefield, and then sent her to Dogen to become a doctor. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but I apologize. Over time, the shinobi became affected by Shura, which is a condition that basically turns you into a beast. And in order to save him from being consumed by Shura, Lord Ishin of the Ishina clan sliced off his arm, which helps somehow, I guess. Now the one-armed orangutan, Dogen constructed a prosthetic for him, and the sculptor continued to train and kill with it, which renders Ishin's solution completely useless. Eventually, he begins to realize that he can't keep going like this, because the flames of hatred are manifesting in his soul. So he retreats to a remote temple in the outskirts of Ishina. He becomes the sculptor and starts crafting Buddha idols, but every Buddha idol that he creates has a face of wrath on it. Like, it's not the peaceful Buddha, it's the demon Buddha. Eventually, the sculptor finds Wolf after he is left for dead by Junichiro, and he gives Sekiro the prosthetic arm. Later on in the game, you discover that the sculptor suffers from dragon rot, but it can't kill him. Once you defeat the divine dragon in the game, the sculptor disappears from the temple. And one of the vendors tells Wolf that he saw the sculptor stumbling away, mumbling something about flames. Eventually, when you go back to the place where you fight the horse dude, the whole place is on fire and destroyed, and you see that there is a demon there, and that is the Demon of Hatred, who was once the sculptor. Demon of Hatred is unquestionably one of the tougher bosses in the game, and certainly a formidable warrior for SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. You saw my reaction in the intro. This is a very, very interesting fight, and not just because it's two very aggressive, very difficult bosses. It's because they're two very similar bosses. Not so much similar in the way that they fight or anything, but just very similar design and very similar. They are kind of similar in the way that they fight, but I think that the Bloodstar Beast, I think, is the Demon of Hatred, not the Bloodstar Beast. I apologize. Apparently I was sticking within the same universe. The Demon of Hatred does have more tools in its arsenal. And I think, we have to remember that, I bring the bosses up to the same level. The Cleric Beast being one of the beginning bosses of Bloodborne. You got to kind of bring it up to the same level as the Demon of Hatred to make this a fair fight. That being said, like I said, I think the Demon of Hatred just has way too many tools, way too many extra things to play with in its arsenal, and I don't think the Cleric Beast could really stand up to that. So, my final verdict is that I think the Demon of Hatred will walk away the clear winner in this fight. But that is just my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments. And with that, yet another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death draws to a close. RobertBlanchardBooks.com. If you're interested in the award-winning Roar of a Dragon series, you can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. If you'd like to hear more about them, the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. My Linktree, my Instagram, my Twitter, all Bobby's Roll 2110. Mondays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Elden Ring No Crimson Flask Run, Volume 2, Liurnia of the Lakes. This past Monday, I explore Western Liurnia, and I run into some very difficult bosses. So, that's a very fun and interesting time. Trying to make sure that I'm not just exploring and I'm ending the episodes on something at least mildly interesting. So it's not just, boring episodes of me just looking over this giant open world. So that's what I'm trying to make happen here. But we are closing in on some very interesting areas in Liurnia, so we will be hitting on those very shortly. Back in the archives, I have the Dark Souls Remastered No Estus Run. I have the Elden Ring No Crimson Flask Run, Volume 1, Limgrave. I have the Sekiro No Healing Guard Run. I have the Dark Souls 3 No Estus Run, and the Dark Souls 3 No Level Up Run. So check those out if you are interested. The Bobby's World Hunger Games, there's 28 of those for you to check out. Me and my friends, basically in a Hunger Games simulator, and hilarity often ensues. So that's a pretty popular series here on the channel. Check that out if you're interested. And there are also some special episodes for you to partake in as well. The Your Father's Story videos, reading and answering questions from a book from my boys, just basically talking about life and helping them to learn a little more about me, with questions that they probably wouldn't necessarily ask. So if you want to learn a little more about me, that would be the place to do that. There's 7 of those in the playlist for you. Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what you're watching right now. SoulsBorne Battle to the Death, so I don't really have to explain too much about what that is. Thank you once again for your love and support on episode 100 of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death, that very special SoulsBorne Battle Royal that we did. It was a fun time. People seem to really like that. So I did a little bit of a different format change for that too. So that seemed to be pretty well received, and I really enjoyed doing it that way. So that was very cool. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Saturdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Bobby's Gaming Lounge. That is my weekly live stream. Lately, and probably at least for the foreseeable future, for the next couple of weeks anyway, I've been doing a Resident Evil 7 blind run, which has been very popular. It's been extremely well received, so thank you for that again. That's been a really fun time. I've been on record as saying that Resident Evil 2, the remake, was the scariest game I ever played. And now I'm not so sure anymore, because Resident Evil 7 has really gotten my attention, and more than once has made me yell out loud and say some things that aren't very nice. Let me put it that way. But I've really been having fun with that, and that is just a hell of a game. I think Christian and his friends want me to go straight in the village and then Requiem. I really kind of want to break it up a little bit, so we'll see what happens. But for right now, it's Resident Evil 7, and I'm having a great time with that, so yeah. Tune in for that. Saturdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the live stream. So yeah, that's the programming notes. That's what I got coming up. Just trying to hang in there with the schedule, and being busy all the time, and just doing what I can do. But I'm still having fun doing it, so that's all that matters. Leave a like, subscribe, notifications, and all that nonsense. Once again, thank you all for the love and support. The Ornstein and Smile episode from the Dark Souls Remastered No Assist run has over 2,000 views. The short I did from Back for Blood several weeks ago has over 11,000 views, which is just freaking insane. And some of the recent shorts I've done too have done very, very well, and I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And it justifies me busting my ass like I have been to do all this stuff with, like, my full-time job, and then this job, and then doing everything that I do. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I'm not going to ramble on and on about it, as I have a tendency to do, but I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for that. So I hope everyone has an amazing week. Be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. See, I'll see you live, y'all. Bye.
Hey, boss.
Yes, Courtney.
Mrs. Anderson called. She wanted to order several copies of your books for family and friends.
Oh, that's amazing. Get some ordered, have them sent over to me, and I will sign them for her. I really appreciate it if you could do that for me.
I didn't know you were an author.
You did. Courtney, you've been with me for like 2 years now, and we've talked about it fairly constantly, and there's an ad at the end of every one of these videos.
Well, that doesn't mean that I listen to everything you tell me. Are the books any good?
Well, ReadersFavorite.com said that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. I know, that's pretty crazy, but that's exactly what it says. It's on the Cry of a Raven review. Go check it out.
Well, that's pretty cool. What are the books about?
It's about a soldier who gets exiled for saving a baby dragon, and later he's killed, and he wakes up 3,000 years later with strange powers, and he's watched over by the very same dragon, and the world has been overrun by evil, and he now must travel back in time to stop the evil that started in his own home country.
Wow, that sounds interesting. How can I get copies of the books?
Well, you can go to robertblanchardbooks.com and order your copies there. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And if you want to hear more about them, you can listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast.
You have a podcast too?
You know what, Courtney? You are doing such an amazing job that I think you are due for a raise. How does that sound?
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Thank you, boss.
You bet. Too bad the raise is going to be when I raise a water balloon over her head and just Maybe I'll wait until her mom calls. I think she'll find that pretty funny. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com right now and get your copies of the series that got 3 5-star reviews from readersfavorite.com, 3 Author Shout Recommended Reads Awards, and 2 Literary Titan Silver Awards. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free, read more reviews, short stories, and much more. And if you want to hear more about them, you can listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts.